Okay. Well,
Okay, now I'm pretty sure I got my headphones in.
well, I'm in the frame now.
Okay, let's try this again. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, hold on. Okay, let's try this again.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What the hey? What the heck? Okay. Tested everything out, and we're live right now. Headphones.
This is me talking? Yeah, okay. StreamYard can hear me.
Okay. I know I'm not on mute, and I did test my headphones here. So let me see. Hold on. What the H? Ah. Okay, I can hear my...
I'm going to give you a little bit of music.
All right, let's try... Okay, there we go.
You can hear the music now?
Yeah, I can hear... Again, I unmuted the browser. So... Okay, so...
All right. So you weren't hearing me when you asked, why are you leaning over?
No, I didn't.
You didn't hear me say, because I'm not in the frame.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And what happened was there's a Chrome extension where you can mute and unmute things. So
yep, there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
Avram made one of them.
Okay. All right. Now that we got that all straightened out, and also too, when I recording the episode, it's only recording one way in Adobe Audition. So I can't, it won't record, it only records one audio, it won't record double. So what I did was I downloaded the auto off StreamYard. So, but we're live right now, so we're gonna get this rolling. I just want to get this started here. Give me a couple seconds. Okay. All right. Well, I'll do it later. Well, no. Hang on. Let me just do this real quick. Okay. For those who are watching right now, this was, again, my fault. I had everything was plugged in, and then I didn't realize I didn't do the unmuting the browser on the browser, so that was my fault. So I apologize.
We're gonna have to put together a checklist for you.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Yeah,
they're good. I have one over here for the show.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think everything was plugged in, but okay. But I think we're all live on. Yeah, we're on the Facebook Live. We're on YouTube. Yep. Okay. All right. Very good. All right.
I got them both up.
Okay. Cool. Okay. All right, very good. So let's get this ball rolling. All right, this week from GNC Week in Review, powered by GeekNewsCentral.com. HBO Max is launched. Will there be an upcoming launch Will there be an upcoming launch on the next Razr, and will there be a launch of the iPhone 12 in November? Those are some of the tech news stories from this week, and it's Friday, May 29th, 2020. My name is Kirk Corliss, along with
Scott Ertz. Hello.
And this is episode 59 of the GNC Week in Review podcast, part of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. We are streaming live on Facebook.com, also YouTube at GNC Week in Review. So please be sure to say hello in chat or comment. If you missed a live video, you can catch the replay later. If you are a new listener, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast, where you can find in the right-hand side column at gncweekly.com, be it Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, your favorite podcast app for Android, or on TuneIn, Spotify, or Stitcher. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to the GNC WIR channel on YouTube. If you have a comment on social media or email, be it social media or email, and those all that can be found at gncweekly.com/connect. Well, this is a week. It's been a little bit of a light tech news this week, which is totally understandable with all the things that's been going on in the world. So we're going to jump in with the top story this week, and it's been hyped up for almost a year. It's and a lot of criticism, a lot of confusion. But it's Warner Media's latest streaming services here. It's HBO Max, and its debut brings a lot of originals like Big Bang Theory, Friends, Doctor Who in the U.S., South Park, and more. It's $14.99 per month after a 7-day free trial. Now, there's been confusion on HBO Go and HBO Now. Also, there has been talk about is HBO Go and Max going to go away, what have you. So many questions in the air. Is with all the also PS, it's available on all the platforms except for Roku and Amazon. So this is going to be a lot of questions in the air. Is it going to survive against Netflix, Hulu? Is it going to have? They're spending millions of dollars, so it's a lot of questions and doubt.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions about it, and this is something that on F5 Live, Avram and I have been talking about a lot. Is subscriber fatigue, and how we have so many streaming services now, and at this point, very few of them are offering anything new. In here it mentions exclusives, and it mentioned Rick and Morty, which actually isn't an exclusive, which is interesting. Neither is South Park.
Right.
Friends is. Big Bang Theory is. So let's go through it. Rick and Morty is available from Adult Swim and from Hulu. South Park is available from Comedy Central and from Hulu.
Right.
Big Bang Theory is available from CBS All Access. Doctor Who, sure, you can watch it on this, but honestly, if you really want the best experience for Doctor Who, BritBox is the way to go.
Okay.
And that kind of brings us down to Friends, which, okay, if you ask Netflix will tell you that Friends was a big deal for them, and losing the license so that they could do this was a big deal. But I mean, yes, there is a reunion movie thing coming, but
it got canceled. They got canceled because of the pandemic. They stopped shooting.
The production is canceled. I don't think the order for the show is canceled, though.
No, it's not. No, the production, because of the pandemic, was canceled.
But it'll come back. There's only one reason why AT&T exerted their rights over Friends, and that was to create their own content on it. Right now, I just don't know that there's enough stuff.
Yeah.
Personally, especially if you're like me and has too many things already, I don't know that there's anything to draw me into this one.
Likewise, because I have, to be honest, I have Amazon Prime, I have HBO Go, I have Netflix, Hulu. So that 4, right? I mentioned Amazon Prime. I have Amazon Prime too. 4. So that's 4. Okay. So my whole thing is that with the exception of AT&T, and I remember watching when you even mentioned it, I think a lot of people have mentioned it too, is that that Big Bang Theory, wouldn't it be prudent and smart to go to CBS All Access?
Yeah, because you're going to get all the Star Trek shows over there.
Exactly. Exactly. So, like, and with AT&T, and they had AT&T TV, AT&T TV Now. So, if you're going to put in, if you bought all these property, right? If you bought all these properties, wouldn't it be feasible to? That's what a lot of tech news in the past week or the past few weeks has been speculating that it's huge, and I don't think it's going to be honest. I don't think it's going to last long because I think they're going to throw. It's probably, do you think maybe it's my opinion that they're going to throw all this stuff against the wall and see if it sticks?
Mm-hmm. And in the article, which if you haven't read it, geeknewscentral.com, the article talks about the brand confusion, which I think is a big part of why this is going to be a problem. Because let's say for my parents are going to hear HBO. They're going to hear the HBO name, and they're going to think Sopranos and Game of Thrones, and they're going to go, don't care. And they're going to think big subscription fee like HBO. And that's going to be a huge market limiter for a lot of people, putting it under the HBO name. But in fairness, they had to, because putting it under the AT&T name would tie it up with the AT&T TV Now, which is too many T's, by the way. AT&T. My God, that's too many T's in a row. But the AT&T TV Now, which used to be Direct TV Now, is its own disaster, and they don't want to tie it up with that. So there's no winning on this stupid thing for them, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. And I just pulled up, if you're watching the live video right now, I'm showing the article from geeknewscentral.com. But yeah, I don't, to be honest, again, to me personally, I don't think that it's going to be feasible. And again, I be honest with you, I love Amazon Prime. I love CBS. CBS All Access is really been kind of. They don't have really big titles. They have this one, it's a cartoon politics channel called Tuning Out the News. It's really funny. Have you seen it?
I have seen. So CBS All Access is theoretically one of our partners for the show. Okay. Even though I give them crap all the time, they're still technically a partner, and so I get ads all the time for this thing, and I have very little idea what it is.
It's pretty funny. I mean, but as far as like the title's concerned, with the there isn't that many. I know Star Trek Picard. They were mentioning back in the day initially that Young Sheldon was going to be exclusively on there, and then it was going to go on air on CBS. So, but now with excuse me, now with I'm just wondering why, for me, I'm going to go where the standby, but I'm not going to spend. I have Verizon, so I already have HBO Max already included, so that's free for me. But again, but they're saying that they're going to take away HBO Go and combine it into HBO Max, which that's something that has to. It's going to hurt. Their pockets are going to be hurting.
It's AT&T. It's AT&T. They're not all that worried about it. I think they're willing to do right now what Netflix did for the last 3 years, and that was lose money to create content and create branding so that they could get to their 50% original mark.
Right.
And I think AT&T is in a similar boat, in addition to the money that they put out, obviously, to purchase Warner. I think they're in a similar boat where they're going to put money into it, whether it's advisable or not, just to try and make something of this purchase that most of the industry thought was a mistake.
Yeah, and I think, and that's where a lot of tech news, all the Engadget, The Verge, a lot of the news sites have a lot of doubts about this and how it's going to fly. So we'll see. I'm curious. I want to keep an eye on this and see what happens. And I would say by this time next year, I think it's going to probably be. It's going to say, okay, we're going to migrate HBO Max, all that you love, into AT&T now. So that's what I think is what's going to happen. So we'll see what's going to happen.
I wouldn't be surprised if by this time next year there's, instead of the at least 4 services that are out there from AT&T, I think it'll be down to 1.
But here's the thing. Well, one thing that kind of got struck me odd with not necessarily Roku, but you have Amazon Prime, HBO on Amazon Prime. Why didn't they just add that app into the? Why that isn't?
I think it was about market saturation, and I don't know that there's enough. If you're going to do it in order, right, of market saturation, I think honestly, I think Amazon goes to the bottom of the list. Roku's the surprise for me.
Really?
Yeah, because they're the number 2 streaming service platform. If you remove dedicated over the top. So we're not counting PlayStation or Xbox because that's an unfair comparison because there's zillions of those out there already. They're the number 2, I think. Now they were 1 forever. I think they're number 2 now. How do you skip them?
Right.
That seems like the mistake.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, they did say that Amazon is in talks, so I imagine they're going to get in talks with Roku about it. But it's win-win, and we'll see. Okay, I just want to look at some. Okay,
so the thing is, again, I could build an app right now and put it in Roku without ever talking to them.
Right.
We could. Well, because it's all RSS based, we actually could probably within a couple of hours have an app on Roku for GNC Week in Review. And I'd never have to talk to anybody over there. They wouldn't have to know. They wouldn't have to care. I could be there probably by tomorrow. So I don't know why companies like HBO or like AT&T think they have to have a conversation with Roku. They don't.
Right. Right. Well, actually, when you mentioned about the about getting an app in, because Todd had Geek News Central app on the Roku a few years ago, and it was under the Tech Channel. I don't know if it was under TPN Tech Podcast Network or not.
TPN has had an app on Roku for a long time, and when we changed the domain at the beginning of the year, it stopped working. The app's still out there though.
Okay, so you can create your own API and stick it into.
Yeah, you can create your own app. It's just like any other app platform. It has been. Okay. Honestly, Roku's app platform has been around longer than the smartphone app platforms.
Huh. Okay. I didn't know about that, but I didn't know that that Roku was that high on the
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They've been around too long is really what it comes down to. I mean, okay, so let's put Roku's market saturation into perspective for people. Apple TV, the Apple TV Plus app is available on Roku.
Okay.
It was the first non-Apple platform it was available on. Obviously, it was available on the Apple TV, the iPhone, the Mac OS, but it came to Roku before anywhere else because it's so easy to get there. Okay.
I gotcha. Again, I knew of that, but I didn't know the breadth and the okay. I'm new to.
I've been out of retail sales for almost a decade now, and they were huge when I was selling electronics. They've just been around for way too long. Like they started the over the top streaming thing. Like Roku was it in the old days. Obviously, then Apple got involved, Google and Amazon, but I think they still mostly dominate the space.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It seems why would they not
Yeah,
recognize a big platform or provider that they can get more eyeballs on, like you said, market saturation. So it would seem so. Well,
yeah,
like I said,
because it's available on Android TV, which is a
mhm,
statistically insignificant platform
right,
comparatively, but it's not
right,
available on Roku, which
right,
has all the TV manufacturers making. I mean, uh,
right.
Hitachi, TCL,
Hmm.
everybody
LG.
makes it. LG, well, LG has WebOS. I don't know that they have a Roku powered TV because they own
Oh,
WebOS.
okay, got it. Okay.
But you've got all these big companies making Roku powered TVs.
Hmm.
It's a built-in ecosystem.
So it's what you would think it's win-win.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hopefully it'll come there soon. I think that's the point.
Yeah, I think hopefully come soon. It'll come soon, but I think something tells me like I said, I can mark the date on the calendar. It's not going to last long. It's not going to last long, but we'll see what's going to happen down the road.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we've got some rumors flying around, possible launches, and one of them, or actually two of them, there's a new version of the Motorola Razr foldable that could launch this year, and it might have 5G, a bigger battery, and improved cameras. It's from 9 to 5 Google. They're saying that it may be powered by Qualcomm's 5G capable Snapdragon 765 processor. It might have a 2,845 milliamp battery, up from the 2510 milliamp battery that had in the first generation Razr. It's also rumored to have 48 pixels, which is a jump from the current version 16 megapixel. And also might have 8 gigs of RAM, up from 6 gig, and 256 gig of internal storage, up from 128 gig. Couple of things. One is foldable phones feasible? Two, I think a lot of people back in the day, years ago, with foldable phones, remember the Razr. My wife had a Razr, and she was in love with it.
Mhm.
So with the new Razr possibly coming out, might have 5G. Now, by the way, 5G isn't spread out like it is now. It's only a handful of pockets of cities. Um, the last Razr didn't sell very well, and I don't see a lot of Razr phones out in the wild. So this might.
Sure.
I don't know if this is going to. I don't know if this is going to. Um, it's going to have put eyeballs on when a lot of people have iPhones or the Galaxies of the world.
Yeah. So I read an article earlier today on this where they were the headline was Razr 2 could be the foldable phone Motorola should have launched, and I still don't think I care.
Mm-hmm. Likewise.
And that was, and yeah, I read that headline and I'm like, yeah, that's precisely how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Right.
I simply don't.
Yeah.
Because first of all, none of the foldable phones have had the. Nope. Let me clarify. When I'm talking about foldable phones, I'm not talking about dual screen foldables like the Surface Duo. I'm talking about single pane folds in the middle.
Right.
None of the foldable phones have had the physical durability to justify their prices.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the specs on this one, it's a better phone, but it's still not a flagship. At least with the Galaxy Flip, at least that was flagship quality.
Right.
Internally, it's still, the technology is still garbage.
Mm-hmm. They were all in on the Galaxy Fold, and when that came out, a lot of reviewers was like, from Engadget, I saw, not Engadget, The Verge, where the phone opened the phone and they were told not to take off the plastic film.
Yeah. So there were two versions of the first phone,
Mm-hmm.
which was a lot of fun. The first one, only the number is a little vague, but somewhere around 200 devices were shipped. They were shipped entirely to tech publications, and they were a disaster. They were so bad that Samsung said, please, for the love of God, don't write a review, send them back. And they delayed the launch of the phone for like 4.5 months. They canceled everybody's pre-orders and delayed the launch of the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And basically went back to the drawing board on the screen, because the screen was so bad for things like that film that you couldn't take off. And I think that muddied the water. I think before a true foldable screen phone could possibly succeed in the market, people have to forget about that phone. Because everybody wrote about it. Nobody wrote a review because Samsung asked nicely. But everybody wrote experiences. Everybody who had one in their hand wrote about how by the 20 or 30th fold, it was already starting to wear. Which 20 or 30 folds, everybody who's listening, if anybody is watching live with us right now, comment, how many times a day do you pull your phone out of your pocket and turn the screen on?
I don't.
Imagine if you had a mental counter that at 30, it was going to start aging. That doesn't survive day one.
Right.
And so I think foldable screens have to overcome that. It's the Note 7, right? They've got to overcome that. How many? It was 2 generations before Samsung was able to even successfully sell a Note phone after the 7. I think we've got some time before these foldable screen phones are going to find a market. But just like wireless charging, if the companies don't keep pushing forward, they'll just give up and we'll never have it.
Oh, that was your pet peeve for many years as well. That and about the viability that foldable phones. They're saying that it would be and when I went to CES, it was like it was like they have nothing but. That was like foldable phones or like foldable screens, not the phone itself, but the foldable concept was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and for some people for good reason passed on it. Yeah,
I've been saying this since the Fold was first announced. The first time, I've been saying that foldable screen phones are the current 3D TV. They'll be the manufacturer's like pet projects for a couple of years, and then we'll never hear about them again.
Right. It's been going in waves, so I don't think. I'll be honest. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think we're going to see them anytime soon. And like again, I don't think this Razr is going to get a lot of traction as well.
I think the concept that's going to work is the Surface Duo. Now, is Microsoft going to succeed with the concept? Who knows?
Right.
Because in the grand scheme of things, how many of this product, the Surface Book, are out there versus how many other removable screen laptops? Right. Okay. There's. Microsoft may not own the space with the Surface Book, although they kind of do. But, they may not necessarily 100% own the space, but they created a whole new product category. And I think the Surface Duo will do the same thing. Granted, it's not the first. The first one was in 2011. But I think the Surface Duo, I think that concept of essentially a Nintendo 3DS running Android and having a phone. I think that'll end up working.
Did they talk about? I caught a little bit of the Microsoft build. Did they talk about that Duo in their keynote or in their?
So build was very different this year. It was usually at build they talk consumer stuff, and there was none of that this year. It was a very developer focused thing because it was all done in developer sessions. Now, did they talk about the Duo? Yes.
Yeah, they did.
They talked about the SDKs and how you build dual screen apps and all. Yes,
Okay.
but not in any way that matters for consumers.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because
It
I
means
caught
a
a little
lot.
bit of it.
It means a lot for me.
No, I know it does.
I know a ton about the inside workings of the Android SDK for the Duo, and I am so excited. I'm pretty sure that's going to be my next carry it phone. For those who don't know, I have lots of phones. I have 2 active phones and about a dozen more on my desk in the office. And it takes a lot for something to take over as one of my 2 active carrying it phones. And I think the Surface Duo is going to do it.
Okay. Well, speaking of phones and other possible launch news, according to the new report from the Cohen Investment Bank, Apple could be delaying the launch of its 2020 iPhone. Now, according to their report, they are predicting that Apple could be launching their new iPhones in November 2020. Apple typically launches their new iPhones around September. And there are also some rumors the device for this year could be delayed to October or November. And there's some that are even reporting it could delay it to 2021. And a lot of the talk is about the pandemic.
Yeah.
And
their manufacturing capabilities.
And right.
That's really what it comes down to. How often has China shut down? We're now in their 3rd shutdown over this. So yeah, they've had manufacturing problems. November wouldn't be a surprise for me, and that's the date that Cohen is pointing at, and they tend to be right with Apple stuff. So when it comes to Apple timing news, Cohen always seems to be right. So if they're saying November, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, a lot of analysts. There's one analyst, Ming Kang. I'm probably going to massacre this person's name. This one high analyst, Ming something. I can't remember his full name. But a lot of his rumors, and also there's another person on person that does Apple rumors. Oh, I can't remember his name. And he was usually dead on. And a lot of from what I saw, that they're on point. But it's like Apple's been really, they've been doing, with this pandemic happening, they've been doing still extremely well with their revenue, extremely well. They haven't suffered.
They got hit some, especially in the iPad space. Their tablet shipments are down significantly. In fact, the entire industry is. And I think we're going to talk about that in a minute. But their phones, because they launched the SE because it was ready, they haven't taken the hit. So many people were waiting for that SE because they didn't quite want the new form factor. They like the physical home button. They like the fingerprint reader. All of that I understand. I got you. I don't like the fingerprint reader because it's never worked for me. I have a problem where my hands sweat, and so the fingerprint readers never work because my fingerprints seem to always be changing moment to moment because of that. But but I totally understand the idea of liking the fingerprint versus the facial recognition. I get it. Okay, so you want the older handset design. Okay, so you waited for the SE. It's a more powerful iPhone 8. Okay, makes sense. And that, a lot of people were waiting for that, and a lot of people upgraded because that SE came out. So yeah, that helped them a lot. And then ending up with the refurbished XRs in stock at about the same price as the SE helped too.
Yeah, I saw that. That's one of the things I was looking at in the news, that they're selling the refurbished stores, iPhones. But also, what was intriguing is that the other piece of it was that with the when you're reading the phone from on your, they can't read the mask. If you're wearing a mask, they can't read it, but a lot of people prefer the Touch ID than Face ID. So,
well, in fairness, 13.5 iOS 13.5 produced a fix for facial recognition with the mask.
Right. Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
Which I know a lot of people don't want to install because of the contact tracing. API being added. So there is that issue, if you don't want the contact tracing API, which eventually you're going to have and there's no choice.
Right.
But if you don't want that, then you don't get the mask fix either. So you got to make some decisions.
Right. All right, very good. All right, so we were talking about this about a second ago, and I'm going to move things around from the script I had. Global shipments of devices, PCs, tablets, and mobile phones are on pace to decline 13.6 in 2020, totaling 1.9 billion units, according to the latest forecast by Gartner Incorporated. Rajit Atwal, Senior Research Director at Gartner, says, quote, the forecasted decline in the PC market in particular could have been much worse. However, government lockdowns to COVID-19 forced businesses and schools to enable millions of people to work from home and increase spending on new notebooks, which makes sense because with COVID-19, what have you, a lot of them are not spending. See, I'm not a really big electronic spender, but a lot of people basically are using what they have and just making do.
So there's some of that. The other problem, I will speak on this as broadly as I can because I have some inside knowledge on it. So I won't give any of that away. Because that's literally the space I'm in now.
Right.
I can tell you that procuring the hardware from the manufacturers has been almost impossible. A number of the companies that I interact with, their IT departments have no computers. None.
Oh, wow.
Nothing.
Wow.
Because like if a company tries to get them, because the infrastructure is random company, let's say not Google, because they probably have a different relationship, but let's say Baxter, right? Let's say Baxter Healthcare. They're a pretty big company. I think they're on the Fortune 500 list. So they're a huge company. They don't buy their laptops from Dell. They buy their laptops from a company like CDW or Insight or somebody like that. And CDW and or Insight purchases them from Dell. Because CDW and Insight can buy lots and lots of them and get a better price. And then by the time it gets back to Baxter, the price is still better than buying it direct. And so CDW and Insight can't get them. So Baxter can't get them. So Baxter's IT, and this is just an example. I have no idea what's going on at Baxter. So Baxter's IT team has no laptops for new employees, no laptops for people who are working from not in the office for the first time in their careers, because they've had to send them out for those people. So all these people who usually work on a desktop in an office, who are now working from home, they had to procure laptops for them, and now they are out.
Well,
and that's because they can't get them.
Well, I know for me, because I work for a company, and we had to bring our workstation tower at home, and we were told, we were told that if we wanted to get another laptop, because I'm used to 2 monitors and what have you, so if we were told that if we want another monitor, it was up in the air, and B, it was going to take a tremendous amount of time to order it, ship it, etc.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're kind of like, so myself, I'm so used to, I'm loving 2 monitors, and but it's like it's a pain in the butt because it lowers the productivity. But a lot of companies, like, you want to use these tools at home, but if you're not giving these tools, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. So
yeah.
OMG. Okay.
Well, the end result here is that, yes, there's a 13.5% decline in device shipments. And I think that's at every level. I
Mhm.
think that Samsung and Dell and HP can't make
Mhm.
enough of them to
Mhm.
get to Insight and CDW, to be able to get to the healthcare companies and the the transportation companies and all
Mhm.
these. So all of that causes a 13.5% decline. And considering device
Right.
shipments have been on a decline anyway,
Mhm.
only 13.5% isn't that bad. Like
Yeah.
the guy from Gardner said, that's not terrible. It could have
No.
been way
Right.
worse.
Right. It could be a lot worse. Right. But it's also noticing also the one person mentioned about education and government establishments and also increased spending to which is good, which is a good thing. But also too, because with me, my daughter she uses my Chromebook, and it's a great learning tool I know you were talking about about Zoom on and everything like that. But it's like but I wonder what's going to happen next year. Are they going to, as far as production of computers and iPads, what have you, do you think it's going to increase more to meet demand, or is it going to stay the same?
There'll be a bump for sure later in the year. I think manufacturing seems to be going again. Well, there was just the new shutdown in China. What, 300 million people are under lockdown again. So maybe it's not as much as it was a week ago,
Right.
but manufacturing was back up and running for a while. So I think that'll help because it'll mean that there are going to be laptops out in the wild again.
True. That is true.
And once money starts flowing again, once businesses start going again, and everybody's trying to save money right now. All the companies are trying to save money. They don't want to buy more laptops.
Right.
Their IT. Right. Go back to our example. Baxter doesn't want to buy any more laptops right now because they don't know, what next quarter's revenue is going to look like. So everybody's trying to be cautious, except for the companies that can't be Disney, Universal. You
got it,
because they had to buy a ton of technology to be able to reopen their parks. But it's. I think you'll see spending go up once the economic impact of everything gets more stable. That's my guess.
I think you're right, and I think I just hope that it'll be. For me, I think that it'll be. That with this pandemic, I think that people will realize, okay, we have to really make some big changes, and we need the what if scenarios. So I think that. Like I said, if my company, this happens again, they know, like, hey, okay, we need this, and this, and not, wait until like literally last minute. Which
right. And it's a shame that like these numbers, the 13.6% decline. It's a shame that we don't have numbers on things like handhelds, like cameras, like webcams, because I guarantee you'd see those through the roof.
Oh, absolutely.
Because webcams, Jesus, until like 2 weeks ago, you couldn't buy a webcam.
Right.
Period. You couldn't buy one. I felt like I made a joke on the show a couple of weeks ago that I had a couple here in the studio that weren't being used, and Avram joked that I should shut up because somebody might come through the window and take it.
OMG. Wow. Wait.
Because they were unavailable. We've gotten lucky. A couple of new companies have entered the scene, ironically at the right time.
Right.
But you still can't find a C920 to save your life.
And if there was one available, it'll take like a month to order from Amazon or from B&H.
Yeah, absolutely. But the chances of finding one on Amazon are so low. I mean, the C920, which is if you watch Amazon at the right time, you can get it for $49. Its retail is $79, but if you wait, you can usually get them for $50. They were going on eBay for $400
And originally priced
at $79, but you can get them as low as $49. So they were nearly 10x on their retail price.
Okay, I'm checking Amazon Prime right now, and let's see, looking right now, 18 left in stock
on a Logitech C920.
Yeah, and it's 100 and let me see. Hold on. It's couldn't see the price here. Hold on. It's not giving me the price. Why is it not giving me the price? Oh, I'm sorry. 178.29
for a 920.
Well, this is an HD one.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's what the 920 is.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Luckily, the companies like I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Masion. I think it's Masione, Masion or something like that. They came out of nowhere. Thankfully, they came out of nowhere and gave us this new product that they've been working on. They're like, here's a webcam and it's $59. Great.
Okay, I scratched that. These are from, it's not from Amazon. These are from third parties. That was my mistake. Okay. I apologize.
I imagined that was the case if the price was that high.
Yeah, 183.84. Another third party seller.
Oh my god! See, and when you consider that the regular retail is $79, but that's the MSRP.
Right.
The actual regular retail is $49. If you can't find it for $49 at any given time, whether it be Amazon or Newegg or B&H or somewhere like that, you're not looking hard enough. You can always find them for $49, except now.
Yeah, nothing is
crazy.
Yeah, nothing's on. Yeah, not eligible for Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's well.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so we're gonna move right along into other news. According to Bloomberg, it appears Sony is preparing to offer its first proper look at PS5 games on June 3rd, which is this coming week. Now the date is not set in stone. There's been plans reportedly, quote unquote, been in flux, owing in part to the pandemic. So it's possible you might need to wait beyond next week about the new PS5 games. Now the company,
so the date is now set in stone. It is June 4th.
June 4th. Okay.
Yes, it will be June 4th. Okay. They've sent out the press invites. They've got the links all set up. They are ready to go June 4th.
Okay, so they're not mentioning it. They're mentioning some of the games, but also possibly the system. And I remember I saw a report, and if I'm wrong, let me know, that they're trying to backward compatibility with PS4 games.
Absolutely. Okay. In fact, backwards compatibility is a big part of the next generation of consoles, both Sony and Microsoft. And Microsoft from day one is going to be more so, because it sounds like you're going to be able to play everything back to OG Xbox on the Series X, but the PS5, not only is the PS5 going to play PS4 games at launch. One of the topics that I'm going to go into in detail on Sunday is that they have an ultimatum with the software developers that any games starting this summer that are launched for PS4 have to be launch day PS5, and if you make the purchase, you have to get the PS5 version of it. So you're not playing the PS4 version, you're going to be playing the proper one.
Got it.
So you're not even going to have to deal with backwards compatibility in a window. Basically everything from this summer on, you'll get the PS5 game. So that's pretty cool too. And we'll learn the full details on that on the 4th, on what the rules are. Some of the developers have talked in ways that they probably aren't supposed to. But we don't have the full rules on, what date that'll launch and, what the cutoff is and things. But it is expected to be massively backwards compatible.
Okay.
And with PlayStation Now, so long as, which will obviously be on the PS5, you've got streaming capability all the way back to the original PlayStation. So both consoles are going to be massively focused on backwards compatibility. If you own a game, you should be able to play it. I think that's the idea.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on we'll keep an eye on it this coming week, and if there's any news, we'll talk about it next week or next Friday.
Yeah.
And you're going to talk about it on F5 Live on Sunday evenings or Sunday evening.
Yep.
Cool.
We'll talk about some of the details on the rules of PS4 to PS5.
Okay.
That's going to be our gaming topic this week.
Awesome. So we F5 Live, F5 Refreshing Technology this Sunday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
So please check it out, and we'll like I said, we'll look into it, and he'll talk about it with Abram on his show, and if there's any news coming during the week, we'll do a little really good wrap up next Friday. All right. In the Do You Need Help with Your Tech block this week over on Engadget.com, and I'm going to pull up the screen so you can all take a look. And there we go. Okay. All right. Google's rolling out a simplified Gmail settings menu. And when I saw this, I was like, woohoo.
It's awesome.
Great. This is great.
It is so overdue.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I loved it. When I saw the settings, and if I'm watching the live video right now, but I have all the link up in the show notes, and it's so easy and clean. It couldn't just kind of come at a better time, because a lot of people I have Gmail, and also I work on Geek News Central, so I have my own email account as well. And that, and it's so much easier to make labels for things, and it's the settings on it. It's very easy to do, very easy. Awesome. Okay. Over on AndroidCentral.com, best ways to personalize your Android phone with themes, widget, and customizations. They'll show you how to do it. The first was wallpapers. Now, the first one right here, Tap It. Tap It is like a really cool. I had that for my phone a few years ago, and you can change the wallpaper schemes and the colors. I love that. Also, there's the widgets in my phone, and if I show you my phone real quick, my phone isn't that like get rid of the screen here. My phone doesn't have a lot of widgets on it. I'm very plain, so I don't really have a whole lot of widgets on it. But I have for weather here, my calendar's here, and what have you. So I don't have too many, but a lot of people don't like their real estate cluttered. But the AndroidCentral.com has some great ways you can set it up, the sounds, notifications, etc. Also on AndroidCentral.com, oops, wrong one. There we go. Okay. Best noise canceling headphones in 2020. They have the best overall, the Sony WH-1000M XM3, which I have, what I'm wearing right now, to the best budget neck bud, which is the Phaeton BT100. And I know, Scott, you're a big fan of Monster, and I felt like I was like so disappointed I didn't see the party, the Monster party, but and I know that you're a big fan of the Monster headphones, and
yes, and the Elements in particular, the ones that I'm wearing right now.
Okay.
They are, I literally, because one of the things that on Plug Hits Live that we do is product reviews, I've literally got a box of headphones from everybody. And I could literally choose any headphone to wear on air, and these are the ones that I choose because I find them comfortable. I love the sound quality and the fit. And it's so funny. One of the things that I see, and including on this list, they get like real excited about how some of these headphones, when you take them off, they stop playing the music.
Mm-hmm.
Had these for years, and these have always done it.
Yeah,
which is it's a feature I love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that dating back to my if you're watching live, my poor original set, which are here and are not in one piece any longer. Dave and his big head broke them at CES.
OMG.
But it's a feature I've always loved, and yeah.
Cool. Excellent. All right, very good.
And
all right,
I've looked at this list and I agree with a lot of these. Some of them,
likewise.
Some of them I would possibly fight them on.
Mm-hmm.
The best battery life on the Jabra. I would probably fight them on a little bit, but
I agree with you 100% on the Jabra. I agree with you on that one. All right. Lastly, over on AndroidCentral.com, about Android Auto, everything you need to know. And I got to say, I have Android Auto on my app, on my phone, and with the Bluetooth, and I love it. And it'll show you how to set it up on the base. It gives you the steps on the basics. The Android Auto is on your phone, and there are a whole bunch of there's UI for it, so it'll walk you through on that. So I think that's really, 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 really cool.
And one of the things that you've got on your list here is some of the updates out of Google this week.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I really like that's in that list, at least in the list that you sent me, it's not in the list that you've got.
Okay.
That's funny. Is the update to Google Maps. Which allows for sending what they're calling a plus code.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can essentially track somebody. So, in one of those safety situations, right? Somebody's going out on a date and maybe everybody involved thinks it's a little sketchy. They can send you their plus code and you can keep track of where they are on the map to make sure they're going to the places they said they're going.
Right.
Which I think is a great safety feature. I don't know if that was their intention or not, but as somebody who has sent a text message to a friend and said, "Hey, if you don't hear from me in 20 minutes, this is where I am and I'm dead. Call the cops." I think, and that is a true story. I did not think I was leaving that parking lot.
Wow.
I did, obviously, but I think this is a great safety feature. It's very similar to the whole, you can share your Uber ride with somebody and have the ride tracked. This is for not Uber. It's the same concept, but just not on Uber. I think it's a great idea.
Cool. Yeah, I was going to put that in, but I took it out because I was looking at it and I'm like, I'll put it back in. I'll put it back in.
This article doesn't talk about the map update as much as I would like, but I think that is a very cool feature that I cannot believe has taken this long.
Yeah, really. I'm surprised that as well. So I'll definitely put it back. I'll definitely put it back in. So,
or maybe we can find a better link that covers that feature in particular.
Good point. You're right about that. All right. Lastly and finally, now when I saw this, see, like again, if you're a new listener to the podcast, I try to find things, and hopefully, Scott can join into on some things that will make you think, make you laugh, maybe, important stuff that's going on. But I always try to find something that can bring a smile to your face. And when I saw this, and back in the day when I was a kid, I loved playing pinball. I used to be a paper boy, and for years as a kid, I went down to the store and played pinball nonstop. When I saw this, and this is over on CNET, I thought this was the coolest thing in the entire world. It is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pinball machine.
Yes.
This is so cool.
It is from Stern Pinball.
Right.
Which, if you know anything about modern pinball, Stern is the company.
Mm-hmm.
They are good friends of ours. I have known them for many, many years now. And they make amazing pinball machines, and they are always like this. It doesn't matter if it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or it's Stranger Things, which they announced at CES this year. They're always this really cool, massively themed piece of hardware. And they are so easy to like get you excited because they're just such cool pinball machines.
And if you're watching the live video right now, and I'll have everything linked up in the show notes. I'm not playing the audio. I'm not playing the audio because I don't want this getting taken down. But this is really, really cool.
That magnetic spinny bit was awesome. Oh,
yeah.
I wonder what we have to do to convince them to send us a review unit of that.
Well, it's from what I saw, it's when I'm going to go back to it. I'll go back to it in less than a couple seconds. There's the Pro, Premium, and limited models starting at retail price $6,000, $6,099, $7,600, or $7,699, and $9,099 respectively. So,
yeah, that's about right. Yeah. That's about what I expect.
And the best part is when you're playing a pinball machine like this, and you're want to hit the ramp so bad, and you're holding on to the side of the machine, so you're tilting it the right way or tilting it the other way. So this video is about 2:58, so it's about under 3 minutes. So I'm not playing the audio because I don't want to get it taken down, but I want to show you guys the and yeah.
I hope they have one of these at CES this year.
I'm telling you, if they do, I'm gonna be the first one playing it.
Because they usually have whatever they're announcing, and then a couple of the older from the year. They usually bring some of the older ones with them too. So I bet there'll be one of these at the booth this year. Can't wait.
You know what? I think when we were at Showstoppers, yeah, they had one there.
Yes, they had the Stranger Things one.
That's it. Yep, that's it.
Because I gave it a hug.
Did you really?
I did. Because I was very excited about it. I had gotten a press release, an embargoed press release a couple of days earlier, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get to see it because it's going to be over in Central Hall. I'm never going to get to see this thing because I'm never going to make it over to the convention center. And then they were at Showstoppers.
Right.
Made me happy. They were supposed to come on the show, but their schedules got messed up. They didn't come on the live show. So obviously, they weren't going to bring a machine with them because that's crazy. But
yeah, I got to tell you, when I was a kid, I had a paper route. And when I got done in the morning, I would go because there was a 7-Eleven down the street from me. And of course, I had to pay the quarters back, but that's a whole different story. You learn as a kid. So I was dumping like ridiculous amount of quarters. And, again, I'm holding on to the tilting. And that one machine, that pinball machine, like when you're flipping those things and you're looking at the stories, and you get a level and you beat it. And it's like, and the whole thing shakes, and and the lights go off. When I saw
some of the original haptic feedback right there, my friend.
Exactly, you're absolutely right about that. But I loved it. So I mean, this is something that when looking at things, remembers like reminiscing of your childhood. So when I saw that, and I remember watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. So, but I'm a kid at heart. What can I say?
Just watched a stand-up special last night where the comedian went off on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not because she doesn't like them, but because Donatello wasn't a Renaissance painter.
Right.
He was dead before the Renaissance started. And then she got mad because they're obviously not turtles, they're tortoises.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty great stand-up. I enjoyed it. But yeah, this looks really cool. I love the little sign that says use button to eat pizza.
Right.
I cannot wait to find out what in the world that means. It's got to have something to do with that magnetic spinny bit up at the top.
I think so.
I can't wait to see this thing in action. I want one so bad. But it's a weird, like, do I want this or do I want, like, if I'm going to get one, is it this or is it Stranger Things? Oh, I think it might have to be Stranger Things.
Well, for me, for the Turtles, but that's me. But but I like to see. But you know what? If that company wants to come on to the show, I'll be that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
Stern's been on the show many times with us.
Really?
Before. Yeah.
Okay.
Their schedule just got messed up. I think they had a buyer come in, and so they just couldn't get away because they were over in Central Hall and we're not, and so it's difficult for them to come see us.
Right.
Because they're a pretty small team.
Well, I'll make sure. I'll definitely. We should reach out to them. And have them come on, and I don't think they're going to give a review unit, but
yeah, probably not. But we can hope.
We can hope. Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
We can pretend.
We can pretend, right? But also reminisce about your childhood as well. So
true.
And not the trauma.
This is the most colorful pinball machine I've ever seen. This is so crazy.
When I saw that in the news and the aggregator, I was looking at it. I'm like, I got to put that in. I mean, there's all this XY, all this stuff that's going on in the world. To see this, puts a smile on your face, and and think about your childhood like again, if you caught it earlier, if you're watching live, or you can catch the replay. I didn't play audio because I don't want to get this video taken down. But if for those that are listening, I have a link in the show notes. You can check it out. It's about less than 3 minutes long. All right, cool. All right, that is tech news for this week, for a very light tech news for Friday, May 22nd, 2020. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. Show notes from this episode can be found at gncweekly.com. Also, be sure to check out the latest tech news and commentary from geeknewscentral.com. Be sure to tune in Mondays and Thursday evenings at geeknewscentral.com/live for the Geek News Central podcast. And then be sure to watch and tune in to the live stream with everything on and working on the GNC Week in Review Facebook live page or on YouTube Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel despite the technical issues. Everything was like all technical issues happened last week. I didn't unmute the browser. So
it happens.
So hopefully, so now I'm going to make sure that I'm going to test everything. All right. So if you have any comments on this week's episode, good, bad, or indifferent, we're not going to hold you back, even the trolls. I'd love to hear from them. We'll head on over to gncweekly.com/connect. You can connect by email, Twitter, or Facebook. I'm on Twitter at Kirk Corliss. Scott is on Twitter at PlugIsLive. And you wanted to give a plug. I want to give you a plug for the Drew Project. So, and it's a great thing you guys are working on. Can you fill us in about that?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So the Drew Project. Sometimes I have to prepare myself for this. So the Drew Project is an organization that we created to honor a friend of ours who died at Pulse in 2016. Mm-hmm. One of the things that he was known for was creating a GSA, Gay Straight Alliance, in his high school. And he actually won the Anne Frank Humanitarian Award because of it. And so the organization has carried that on, and we help schools create GSAs. We've created the first full GSA curriculum to help students and teachers deal with issues that they may not be prepared for. And normally, the weekend following the anniversary of Pulse, we would have our annual fundraiser. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's not possible because that would be in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And no way we can do that this year. So we're doing a number of virtual programs we will be doing one. Next weekend. Oh my goodness. So we will be doing a number of them. We've got one that is a drag performance. We have one that is we've got our DJ who usually DJs at our anniversary event. She's going to be doing it virtually, which is going to be a lot of fun. And we've also worked with some artists to produce some products that are related to. So there's some shoes that I am absolutely buying tonight, by the way. We've got one artist who's doing face masks, and all of them help support the organization, so we can help create this content. And also we do a number of scholarships every year to help some students go to college. And so you can learn about the organization at thedrewproject.org. Yep. And if you look us up on Facebook, you'll see all of our events that we're very excited about that will be happening, a lot of them next weekend. And I will be on the the executive producing team of that because, I don't like to sleep.
Right, you're a hardworking person, and I have the website on the lower third there. You can see, so it's a great. You mentioned it, a few times. I wanted to put it out there for you, and so it's an awesome thing.
For those of you who are watching, it is such a part of my life that if you've ever noticed a bracelet that I wear, it says the Drew Project. So,
yeah, well, it's good work. That's good work. All right. Very good. All right. Very good. So until the next episode of GNC Week in Review, so long.